So we're going to review two microphone systems today. The Rode, which is currently recording this on my camera. Now this comes with a 10-year warranty, comes with the integrated Rycote Lyra suspension, anti-shock system of course, includes a lithium-ion battery, and it's optimized for optimized windshield shape as well. So this is what we have. Currently the Rode is set on minus 10 decibels. I'm currently around about not quite, maybe about 2 meters from the camera. But one of the most interesting purchases for me recently has been this purchase of the Comica Boom X-D D2, and basically they come in this package where you have this is actually the receiver module. I'll call it a module, and this allows you to of course receive two inputs, wireless inputs from the transmitters, and these are the transmitters as they come with no windshield or anything on them. And what's pretty good, I've just noticed, in fact, after doing some checks on the previous versions, let me just turn off the sound of my mobile so I'm not being disrupted by that. But I noticed on the previous versions, in fact the ones towards the end of last year, 2020, this is currently April 2021, that the dead cats, we call them dead cats in the industry, or the windsocks, were just like a rubber band to connect them to the microphone, which is a squared sort of module microphone. And I saw a lot of people having struggles with attaching the windsocks. But now it's a lot easier, whereby the windsock has a rubber mount which is just a little bit smaller than the actual microphone, and that means they can just slot on there really easily and then be placed wherever. If you don't mind seeing the actual transmitter, then just stick it on a shirt somewhere, right? Or stick it on something that's nicely placed. And then what you can do is adjust the volume levels individually, of course. You can have this recording in a stereo format or in a mono format, which I would say is more advisable. Otherwise you've got to go back to post-produce, and then you've got to turn it into a mono signal so that you do have both signals congruent in terms of the output. What I've experienced is that I've recorded in stereo previously, and even though I like the idea of recording in stereo, is because you've got obviously separated channels, you can have more control over individual channels. If you've got an interview whereby one person might be slightly louder than the other or quieter than the other, you've got more control over the actual levels. But it's advisable, I would say, that what you do is make sure that you test that before you record and make sure the levels are pretty much close together, so you don't have a big difference between two people speaking to the camera. But if you're more determined to have more control, you want more control essentially over the channels, the audio channels, then recording stereo. But what I found is that a lot of mobile users, they tend to have their mobile set on stereo, and what happens is you get a left or a right balance signal, and the other channel tends to be unbalanced, meaning that you don't have the volume. So that's something which should be aware of. So what do I like about these microphones? Well, I like the fact that they're extremely compact. They've got this lovely little clip-on, which is like a cold shoe mount as well. Don't particularly like that idea, because once you clip this onto the cold shoe or the hot shoe of your camera, if you want to do any look through the viewfinder itself rather than the actual LCD display, you've got that up against your eye, and particularly if you've got obviously the cable, so it can't go on sideways, it's got to go on that way to the cold shoe, the hot shoe on most cases, and that means that you've got obviously the audio cable would be in your way, and it just makes it a bit more difficult. So what I tend to do is I clip it on the side of the camera on some Velcro tape on the side of my camera, so it's not in your way. So yeah, so the Comica XD, these are fairly new on the market, I believe. I think they were sort of mid 2020 when they were introduced, and they've been obviously listening to feedback. And one thing they have done, which I've just told you about, is changing the way that you mount the dead cat, or the sock, the windsock, which is cool. So I've done some tests with this. I'm extremely happy with the quality of the audio, even though I've not gone out to extreme distances. We'll give it a try today. So I'll go out into the garden area, I'll do some recording, but yeah, cool, nice little machines. You know what? They pack up so easily, easy to carry around, and they do the job really, really well. One thing in terms of the connectability, they provide you with the 3.5mm jacks. They've given you them so that they're available for smartphone. There's one here which is the Sony, which I'll use later to connect my Sony, which is Sony, Panasonic, Fujifilm, etc. That's obviously the orange jack actually goes into the camera, and then this goes into the receiver. So that goes into the receiver. And then also what's quite nice on the receiver is you do have a headphone jack. So if you don't have cameras with headphone jacks, you can monitor sound through the headphone jack on the actual receiver for the microphones. Okay, so that's pretty cool. They have also lavalier microphones with them, which is pretty cool. If you want to stick the unit on, on your jacket or your back of your pants or something, and then run the lav microphone through, it's pretty cool. And the sound is, we'll do some more tests today, but the sound's pretty cool. I would say that the build quality is pretty good. So you have the ability to use the lav mic that can go wherever, and plug that into your transmitter. You can obviously take off the windsock, plug that into your, there's a little clip which is pretty cool. There's a little clip to make sure it doesn't sort of move around too much, and it clips in, so it's quite solid and quite a tight connection. Lovely little units, very light, easy to carry around. They've got onboard batteries which take about an hour to charge, and you can use them, I would say, for maybe a couple of days of recording. So yeah, cool. Very impressed with the Comica XD 2D. Sounds like a Star Wars movie, actually, with the names of all these different characters. But that's the Boom X-D 2D. So that's R2D2 in Star Wars terms. But yeah, pretty cool. So we'll do some tests with it today, with this system. As I said, I'm currently using the VideoMic Pro Plus, the Rode, and we're going to do some tests. Obviously I'm testing that right now, and we'll go out into the garden area and do some further tests. So follow me through the remainder of this review of 2 microphone systems today with David Found. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell so that you get more updates on my channel. Follow me and tell all your friends about me. I'm going to do a lot more video clips and posting, which is all to do with film production, video production, and stills photography as well. If you want any questions to be answered, please post them in the comments section below. And that's all for now. I'm just going to go out into the garden area and continue recording. So I've got the Comica Boom X-D microphone without the windsock. I'm using the lav at the moment, and we're just going to measure the garden area up until the white seats. This is 8 meters, so let's just take that again. That's obviously 16 meters. Let's do this now. Let's just pull in the tape measure. Woo! and then just do a measurement from there to the chairs. All right, so this is giving you where I was sat just now was 16, so it was 20 meters thereabout, yes, from the camera. That's pretty much the distance you'd be working at. I don't see any reason why you'd be working at longer distances, but let's do it, shall we? Let's give it a longer test. This is 25 meters now. That's 25 meters. Even further, right? Let's keep going. This is now 30 meters from the camera. And now we're at 35 meters from the camera right now. Let's see how the sound is at 35 meters. There you go, all measured accurately. So we're not guessing anything, right? That was 35 meters from the camera. Just going to walk back to the camera now. I'm currently using the Comica Boom X-D transmitter with the receiver on the camera. I'm talking at normal levels, and this is without anything connected to it whatsoever. It's just me holding it, and then if I connect the actual lavalier microphone, which is here of course, we'll see what the difference is now. I'm currently talking with the lavalier mic connected to the Boom X-D transmitter, and with no windsock. There is actually no wind today, which is unfortunate because it's extremely hot and I'm sweating my rocks out here. So I'm going to walk back to the camera with the lavalier connected. Just walk back to the camera. I don't see any reason why I need to use the windsock today because there's simply no breeze, but we'll do that at a later time, right? So you can obviously post any comments you wish. If you want me to test the microphone system at greater distances, I will do that for you. Right now I've just done the sort of 35, approaching 40 meters, which I think is a good distance to test a microphone, a wireless microphone system. So I'm currently using it with the lav, and if I just pull out the lav, you'll probably hear a bit of interference there. Pull out the lav and just use the unit with itself. Distance you would normally have this placed on your person would be around about 20-30 centimeters, I would say, probably 20 centimeters, which is about this distance as you have now. Closer distances, of course, you can too. The microphone is currently set at 6 decibels on the receiver, so that's again pretty average. You can push up or reduce. You can push up the decibel rating. You can increase the volume or decrease the volume as you want to. So that's the little Comica Boom X-D 2D microphone, wireless microphone system reviewed by me today. Also, let me just plug this back into the lav so I can then put this on the table and or put it on the sofa and continue talking to you, because earlier in this the review is actually for 2 microphone systems, the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. It just feels really nice. I like the fact that they've fixed the 3.5mm jack, where originally it was integrated. You couldn't actually replace it or increase the length for the actual cable unless you use an adapter. But I like the fact that they've listened to feedback. They now have the connector on the outside, so you can plug in your 3.5mm jack, audio jack, and then you can run that whatever your length you want, in fact. So it's pretty cool to do that. It makes a lot more sense. You know what, without good quality audio, the whole quality of your video production suffers if you don't have good quality equipment, particularly in the audio department. I build my own little systems. I modify things all day long, and I enjoy doing that. Well, thank you for being with me today for these 2 reviews. I haven't actually done such an in-depth review of the Rode. I didn't do a much further distance review, but generally on camera mics they're working with about 2 to maybe 3 meters for like an interview situation. The Rode works out around about, I think it's about 13 to 14,000 baht. So that's like $400 US. Yeah, it's more than $400 US in fact. But this little thing for $200 to $250 is, I'm not saying that the Rode's more expensive and you shouldn't buy the Rode. The Rode is a fantastic microphone to have, because there are many situations where you simply can't attach a microphone to your interviewee or anybody you want to do sound bites with, so you don't want to be connecting, particularly in a sort of a run and gun situation where you need to get good sound bites of people maybe in a demonstration or some sort of activities on the streets, when you need good quality audio, but you simply cannot be connecting, you can't be plugging on microphones with people that you're going to be doing pieces to camera or a head to camera. So thank you for today one more time. Bye-bye, and enjoy your video production work. This is Dave Found checking out. Bye-bye.